Have you ever been told you're just too sensitive? Or maybe you've just wondered, why do I cry so easily? Well, it turns out that's not some kind of personality quirk. Nope, it's actually a unique trait that's wired right into your brain, and the science behind it is absolutely fascinating. So let's get into it.
So yeah, what's the deal with that? Why is it that some of us get all misty-eyed during a touching commercial while other people are just fine? You know, if you've ever found yourself tearing up at a movie trailer and thought, what is wrong with me? I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. And we're about to dig into exactly what's going on.
And let's just get one thing straight right from the get-go. This is not a flaw, it's not a sign of weakness, and it doesn't mean you're broken. What we're really talking about here is a fundamental part of your neurology. It's all about how your brain is literally wired to experience the world.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around the science, we first have to clear the air a little bit. We've got to debunk some of those common and frankly unhelpful myths about sensitivity. It's time to replace those old ideas with what the research actually tells us. You know, on one hand, you've got these common misconceptions. Society can sometimes label this as weakness, or a lack of control, or even instability. But then you look at the scientific reality, and it's a completely different story. It's a biological trait. It's not about losing control, it's about a much deeper level of processing. It's about having a truly heightened awareness of all the little subtleties in your environment. So this thing actually has a name. The official term for it is sensory processing sensitivity, or SPS for short. And you can see right there in the definition, it's a biological trait. That means it's an innate part of who you are, not something you choose. And get this, it's way more common than you'd probably think. Research suggests it's in about 15 to 20% of the population. Basically, it just means your brain processes sensory stuff, sights, sounds, and especially emotions, way more deeply than the average person. So how do you even picture what's happening? Well, here's a great way to think about it. Imagine your brain has a built-in amplifier. You're not getting different signals from the world than anybody else, but your brain is taking those signals and turning up the volume.
I love this quote because it says it all. Your brain isn't broken. It's just that your dial for all that sensory and emotional input is calibrated a little higher. You know, it's turned up to 11. Everything gets processed with way more intensity and a lot more nuance.
All right, so we've got that amplifier analogy. Now let's actually pop the hood and take a look inside. What is physically going on in the brain of someone with high sensitivity? Let's check out the actual brain regions that are running the show. Okay, don't worry, this isn't going to be a super heavy science lesson, but research points to a few key players. You've got the insula, which is tied to self-awareness and empathy. It's often way more active. Then there's the amygdala, kind of like the brain's emotional command center, and it just reacts more strongly. Even your mirror neuron system, the part of your brain that helps you literally feel what other people are feeling, shows way more activity. And look, this isn't just some cool theory. We can actually see this happening. When you put people in brain scanners and show them emotional pictures, you see a measurably, significantly stronger neural response in highly sensitive folks. It's right there on the screen, a tangible physical difference in how the brain lights up. So let's trace the whole path, from seeing something to actually crying. First, you take in that sensory input, a sad scene in a movie, whatever. Instantly, that amplifier we talked about kicks in, boosting the signal. That leads to hyperactivation in your emotional centers, like the amygdala. And that means your emotional response threshold, that tipping point, is crossed way faster than for other people. And what's the result? Boom, tears are triggered. It's just a straight-up neurological chain reaction. Okay, so now that we get the how and the why, let's completely shift our perspective here. Because it's time to reframe this trait. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's not a challenge, it's actually a unique strength, kind of like a superpower. Think about it. That exact same wiring that might make you cry easily also fuels some incredible upsides. We're talking about greater empathy, which lets you connect with people on a really deep level. It means a more profound appreciation for things like art and music. It often comes with heightened intuition, stronger social bonds, and even a huge boost in creativity. These aren't just random side effects. They're the other side of the very same coin. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Being sensitive isn't about being weak. It is about being open to experiencing more of the world, more of its beauty, more of its details, more of its joy, and yeah, more of its sorrow too. It's like you're living life in high definition. So all of this brings us to one final, really important question. Understanding that your brain is uniquely tuned for deep processing and empathy,
Well, that's not just a fun fact. That is empowering information. So, now that you know how your brain really works, what are you going to do with it?